The Avlith did not count years. They did not track centuries. They simply existed. Born of crystalline matrices deep beneath the surface of silent, frozen worlds, each Avlith consciousness was transferred into a flawless exoform upon awakening. Their bodies shimmered like diamond statues, translucent and eternal, with minds encoded in faultless quantum lattices. Death, to them, was an alien concept. Their scientists had perfected regeneration cycles, eliminating entropy. They had transcended hunger, war, even desire. They spread across galaxies in solemn migrations, slowly constructing silent citadels orbiting cold stars. Yet, for all their brilliance, their faces bore no expression. Their cities, though impossibly advanced, echoed hollow. Their songs were mathematical proofs broadcast into empty voids. When humanity arrived in their star systems, the Avlith regarded us as ephemeral curiosities. Biologicals. They flicker and vanish, said one Avlith philosopher, as he examined a human envoy's heartbeat under a crystalline lens. So fragile, so brief. They must know nothing of true existence. And yet they watched. They watched us weep when children were born, and again when they died. They watched us paint crude murals on colony walls with smudged fingers. They watched us fight, argue, laugh. One human artist, named Daniel Rios, changed everything. He had arrived on an Avlith outpost as part of a diplomatic exchange. They expected him to present formal treaties and technical upgrades, things that mattered. Instead, Daniel set up an easel on the viewing deck facing a gas giant. He painted. For weeks, he painted the swirling storms, the reflected starlight, the shimmer of Avlith towers in orbit. Curious, an Avlith-designated Soriel approached. Why waste resources this way? Soriel asked, eyes flickering with fractal patterns. You will die soon. Your creation will erode. Its informational value is negligible. Daniel smiled, wiping sweat from his forehead. Because it makes my heart ache, he said. Because it makes me feel alive. Soriel paused, processing. Alive? Daniel dipped his brush again, turning to face the towering crystalline figure. Existing isn't the same as living. You can measure a heartbeat, but you can't measure why it beats. You can count years, but not the moments that matter. Living is about feeling the finite slip away, and cherishing every drop of it. The words rippled through Soriel's mind, fracturing centuries of placid logic. For the first time in its long existence, it trembled. Soon more Avlith gathered. They watched Daniel paint. They asked questions. Why did he cry while painting? Why did he hum broken tunes? Why did he scrape away hours on something destined to fade? Then Daniel invited them to try. At first, the Avlith simply replicated his motions with cold precision. But slowly, cracks formed in their perfect lines. One Avlith started adding unnecessary strokes, creating waves of color that shimmered oddly. Another sculpted a figure that was slightly asymmetrical, a mistake that she refused to erase. When one Avlith accidentally shattered a sculpture, he fell to his knees and wept for hours. The humans who watched were stunned. These eternal beings had never shed a tear, never known grief, never celebrated a triumph. Their whole society had floated in perfect, static balance, eternal but empty. Now they began to experiment. One Avlith stopped replicating its old thought cycles, instead wandering planetary forests and sketching insect wings. Another wrote a symphony that rose and fell wildly, refusing harmonic perfection. Eventually, entire citadels transformed. Avlith citizens abandoned cold crystal spires and built structures inspired by human cities, messy, alive, vibrant. Walls were splashed with uncontrolled colors. Walkways curved unpredictably. They began holding gatherings where they shared their chaotic new creations, played human music, and even debated poetry. Some elders resisted. Chaos will bring decay, they warned. But their warnings fell silent in the face of a new hunger, not for survival but for purpose. The Avlith, for the first time, chose to risk failure, to risk heartbreak, to risk joy. Daniel Rios died of old age, as all humans do. The Avlith wept at his passing, holding his final unfinished canvas. On it, he had simply painted a single blue line that curved unpredictably toward the corner, vanishing into empty space. Above the line he had written, "We live because it ends." Millennia later, Avlith children, new forms grown by those who chose to risk creating life, still visited his grave, etched into the moon where he had last lived. They spoke of Daniel as the one who gave them the gift of finitude, who taught them that true living is not found in infinity, but in the fragile moments between two heartbeats. They still live forever. But now they understand why to live at all.